Good evening. That's like, nah, I'm playing. What's up, everybody? Showing up the King here. And as you know, it's Sunday night, so it must be True Blood. And I'm here to bring you my review for Season 5, Episode 10. Yeah, we're winding down, people. Only two episodes left. The proverbial shit has hit the fan. So much to cover. Can't wait to talk about it. Let's get into it. All right. So, Hoyt is gone. And I have to say, he won't be missed, unfortunately. I mean, I think his storyline has run its course, and I'm not sure if he's. I'm assuming by that kind of goodbye that he's leaving the show because again, usually when you see TV stuff like that, they give you the big send off. You got some job out of town, and you're basically leaving Bonton for good. And again, like I said, with his character, there was limited amount of things that you can do with him. You can't be Jason Stackhouse, best friend, and not really have anything else to do. So again, it was fun, Hoyt, but so long, buddy. And I gotta say, when your best friend screws your girlfriend, yeah, I probably want to leave too. Just saying. All right. Anyway, this episode starts off pretty strongly with the authority. We resumed from last episode where it's actually a news story talking about all the True Blood places being out of business, out of commission, and the creators are saying that they're going to rebuild every factory and get True Blood pumping again. But as of right now, it's Vampageddon. Vampires are going to probably start feeding on people like they're driving through at McDonald's drive-in. So it's going to be getting pretty bad. And we actually resumed with Sookie at her house, and she ended up having to stake a newly made vampire with a set of chopsticks, which I thought was kind of awesome. We got a lot of stakings in this episode. Sookie staked a vampire, and the young lady's a little hacker chick from the level 3 clearance. She got the true death, and there's actually one good thing that came out of that. We actually got to see how that little device of hers worked. Like we saw when she put it on Eric and Bill, and even on Russell, and but we never actually got to see how it worked. So I'm actually kind of glad they actually showed us how the thing works, and it's actually kind of awesome. It's just like pops out, shoop, dead. Win. Again, more stakings or more killings happen, and I gotta say the best part of this episode, Tara for the mother flipping win. I mean, this girl, I gotta say, for Tara to only be a few weeks, if not a month old as a vampire, to take out somebody that's got only like 20 times her age is just awesome. It just goes to show you that just because you're older than somebody doesn't mean that a little bit of smarts doesn't go a long way. So she sets up the guy who is supposed to be taking over the bar. And I have to say, I didn't like where Tara's story was going at the beginning of this season, but where it is now, her and Pam, man, it's like her and Pam against the world. That's exactly what it is. Like Pam even said herself, she would give up the bar, and her and Tara would go with the wind like her and Eric used to do back in the day. Sorry, I had to clean my glasses off a little bit. It was great. Like I said, I love their relationship. It's like a mother-daughter kind of situation. This is exactly what Tara needed. She never had a mother that really cared about her, and for Pam to show this kind of care for Tara, it does wonders for her character, and it showed because Tara's just like, we always knew Tara had that mean streak, so when she invited the guy in, I already knew what she was going to try to pull. I knew it the second he walked in. And as a matter of fact, I knew it the second that Pam said she was going to roll out with Tara and leave the bar. I knew Tara was going to have some scheming going on, and she did. She staked him with a silver knife, and then Tara lopped off his head with a huge sword. And I was just like, I think I love you. So that's kind of how I was just feeling when I saw that. I was just like, God, Tara for the win. So, we got that going on. And then, we got the whole thing with Jason Stackhouse and Sookie. Apparently they found some sort of scroll, I guess, which ended up being a contract that, that promised Sookie to Warlow. Yeah. I'm gonna just let that get flushed out a little bit more. I don't even want to get started with that whole thing. Now, this is the part that I really wanted to spend most of this discussion on. Let's talk about, you know what, before I get there, let me step one step back. We also got to deal with Sam and his girlfriend trying to get back Emma. You know, Emma was taken by Russell and his Robert Newland. That whole relationship, yeah. So they've officially infiltrated the vampire hideout. You know, they turned into mice and jumped in his bag, and they're trying to get Emma back. So that's kind of what's going on with their whole storyline right there. Again, not much going on right there right now, so we're just going to wait to see how that develops. Let's talk about Russell Edgington himself. Okay. Now, when this whole thing started, and Salome had her master plan, I'm going to revive Russell Edgington, and I'm going to bring him into the fold. I'm going to have him get rid of my husband, and we're going to do this whole Lilith thing. And as this whole thing is going on in my head, I'm just thinking to myself, why Russell Edgington? What purpose did he have in your master plan? I knew it couldn't have been just to kill your husband, because technically you could have just waited till he wasn't paying attention. You could have just staked him yourself. I mean, I don't understand why you brought Russell Edgington in this situation. And again, love seeing Russell, but that's not the reason why I'm saying it. This is the problem that I have. Throughout history, and again, I'm not going to lie, you know, I was talking to my wife about this, and she put this out there, and I told her I had to use it. Throughout history, we have two kind of people. You have people who talk and people who are all action. And the people who talk usually always try to intimidate through words, when you have people of action who show their intimidation through their actions and will and their violence. Now, the reason why I say this is, again, you can look back at shows like the Game of Thrones, you know, just any kind of show where you have like a king who likes to bark orders, and most of the time they're like some sort of sniveling wimp, and then you got the warrior who they're telling what to do, that they're only going to take so much before they turn on you. It's with anything. Frankenstein, you know, he turns on his master. Anything where you try to create something or try to control something that's stronger than you, it always backfires. And I knew Russell Edgington had some shit brewing. I knew he had some shit brewing, and it came out this episode. I'm like, Salome, again, she has a big mouth. She really thought she was going to come in here, talk all this trash about Lilith this, Lilith that. You know, everybody's going to buy into this Lilith shit, and then everyone's just going to leave her in charge. Not realizing that you reawaken a 3,000-year-old vampire that's stronger than all of you guys. And you thought that you, just because of Lilith, was going to control Russell Edgington. No. So, no, it's not going to happen. And again, you saw it happening slowly. You started slowly seeing Russell reverting back to his old ways. You know, first he started taking on Newland. You know, that's his new little boy toy. You know, he's taking the walls back. He's basically trying to get back to the way things were before. And it all culminated because, again, towards the middle beginning of the episode, you know, he was like, yeah, I'm about to go out and eat. You want to go out? We'll have some Greek food, blah, blah, blah. And you can tell Salome was not happy about it. And, you know, she's trying to reel him back in. And he's just like, bitch, please. You know, I'm Russell Edgington. So, I'm like, you know, right then and there, I'm like, this dude does not care about Lilith. He cares about his own wants, his own needs, and his own desires. And again, it just brings me to the point, why did you bring him back if you had no way of fucking stopping him? Anyway, so what ends up happening, of course, you know, Salome tries to reel in Russell Edgington when he starts to bring up the whole Sookie, you know, fairy thing. And of course, you know, you get that reaction from Bill and Eric. And by the way, Bill brought in his progeny, Jessica, you know, so she's there with him now, and she's reading through the Vampire Bible, and she's kind of paying attention. And everybody's just sitting around, you know, Russell Edgington is talking about, you know, wanting to get in the sun and trying to, all types of craziness. Basically, he just wants to go ape shit. And, you know, Salome is trying to reel him back in. And at this point, he's like, no, I don't care. He's like, I want to walk in the fucking sun. Screw Lilith. That's exactly, you know, excuse my language, but, you know, that's, we all adults here. We watching True Blood. So, you know, cursing is, you know, what it is. So, you know, he says that, and then she tries to get Buck. I'm like, really? You're trying to get Buck with Russell Edgington? So she walks up to this guy and is like, I brought you back. I can put you back in the ground. And again, you know, that at that point is when you kind of want to have one of those like Zach Morris timeouts, like from Saved by the Bell back in the day. Only people over the age of 25 will understand what that is, but you know, it's cool. So they have a, that's where you want to call a Zach Morris timeout, reevaluate what the hell you're saying, and then try again. But no, she goes through with it, and of course that's Russell. All the what Russell Edgerton needs, backhands the shit out of her. She goes flying across the room. Everybody else jumps up and tries to get bucked like they're going to do something. And again, I'm like, I'm like, Russell. This is Russell Edgerton. This is what he does. I'm like, how could you trust Russell Edgerton of anybody? And I'm just like, what plan did you have? She said, I brought you back. I can put you back in. I'm like, how, pray tell, would you want to put back in a 3,000-year-old vampire that you cannot stop? So, of course, Russell is running the show now. He dashes out of there. He's like, you know, screw Lilith. I want to dance in the sun. And he leaves. And you know where he's going. He's going to go for Sookie now. So now they got this whole vampire thing going on. And now they got to deal with Russell Edgerton. Smart, Salome. Very smart. Only other thing I want to say before I go, there was a couple of little quirky moments, and they involve Jason Stackhouse. So there's a scene. I don't know if you guys remember or not. He's in Sookie's house. He's in Sookie's room. I guess Sookie had like a couple of stuffed animals on the bed, and Jason is like playing with a teddy bear, and of course his perverted self couldn't help but grabbing the damn teddy bear's skirt and lifting it up and looking at it real quick and putting it back down. Like, I literally fell out of my chair laughing when I saw that stuff, because I'm just like, I know that's what the writers did. They threw that in there really quick just to kind of tell what kind of personality like Jason has. Like, he's totally that dude that had Barbie dolls when they were younger and like pushing Ken and Barbie dolls together, you know, simulating sex and stuff like that. Well, I just saw that and I was like, wow, they really went there. But again, like I said, this episode of True Blood definitely was fantastic. You know, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. 2 episodes left. I'm just like, it's good. It's just so good. The show is just so good. But again, of course, you know what this part is. I want to know what you guys thought about the episode. Are you as pumped as I am for the season finale that's coming up in about another week or so? Again, what do you think about the whole Russell Edgerton situation? Do you also think that it was a stupid idea for Salome to bring him back, knowing that Russell Edgerton could not be controlled, and it's just like he's like the embodiment. Like when you think of a plan, like this is my rule for this. If you are some sort of diabolical villain, okay, do not employ or hire or create a henchman that's stronger than you. Period. End of discussion. Because in the grand scheme of things, what's going to stop that guy from turning on you and taking your place as the king? Nothing. Again, if you're not, your words only work so long. And then once your words are not working and this person realizes, hey, I can be in charge myself. All I have to do is just kill you or take you out or whatever the case may be. I'm like, I would never employ somebody that's stronger than myself. It's just not going to happen. And again, you know, you have your henchmen, but again, all the good villains don't have subordinates that are stronger than themselves. If they can't handle it themselves, then it is what it is. But again, that's all I'm saying. I'm done my little tirade. Definitely, if you could, subscribe to the videos. And if you want to, thumb up the video. You don't have to, but it'd be appreciated. Show up the king. You guys have an awesome week.